Gecko,
Hi.
welcome in. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. I
Yeah,
so
no
appreciate
problem.
it. It's so exciting to talk to you again.
Yeah, likewise. It's been a while.
I know. And you'll be at Derby again, I'm hoping, in
Yeah,
October.
yeah, definitely.
Great. I will be there as well. I'm
Awesome.
excited to come back. It should be a lot of fun. Can
Yeah,
I start
it's
by asking you what part of the world are you coming to us from?
I'll be coming from London, the UK, so it wouldn't be quite far as you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it will be quite easy. It's like a couple hours train journey.
Yeah. And London is where you reside currently?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me how you first found Tomb Raider or how Tomb Raider first found you?
Wow. So when I was like about 10 years old, 11 years old, I saw this magazine that my father bought, and it's got like a centerfold of Lara Croft with a distinctive like twin pistols down. Well, you know the Tomb Raider 1
Yeah.
cover? Yeah, and then like a bunch of screenshots of just like, I remember distinctively, like there's a screenshot of the cistern, and that became my favorite level in Tomb Raider 1. I don't really know why, but like there's also like Filcabamba, and you know when her pistols were like pointing separate ways. That beta screenshot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was in Chinese, and I just begged my father to be like, could we try this game? And he got me a bootleg copy of it, and we used to play it together. I would run around in the mansion a lot and then kind of play until Lost Valley, and then I just kind of like went back and started a new game all over, and eventually my dad finished the game before I did. But yeah, it was a shared adventure together. That was a good memory of mine with him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Very nice. And how did you then come to level building and start that journey?
I kind of started playing on my own after Tomb Raider 2. My father's lost interest, but like he still got me newer copies since I was only like 13 or 14 years old back then. And Chronicles came out, and the level editor disc just really caught my attention. So before I could even install it, I went to the school and to the library and just printed out the manual. And then, yeah, and then that was my nighttime reading. Like, and during breaks at school as well, I just had this stack of paper and I just read through the entire manual like multiple times, and also trying to like get my English skills up, I suppose.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I obviously started installing the level editor after I finished playing Chronicles, and then I was just hooked. It was fantastic.
So
Yeah,
you were a teenager when you started building?
yeah, I was about 13 or 14, and I think my first level that I released was in January 2001. So
Wow.
that's 23 years ago.
And was that on TRLE.net? Was that up and running?
It was. It was
Okay.
Beneath the Forbidden City. And it was technically the second level that I built, but the first one is just a tutorial level, so I don't suppose that counted. It was just me trying some new stuff. It was actually my secondary school that I built, and I only built the hallways and one classroom, and I did a lot of texturing, and there is somehow a bore in the car park just because I could only use like the original WODs as in the object pack. So I was just trying to see if I can get the same vibe as my school hallway, and I don't think I did a good job at it, but it was a good test to see what I could do and what the limits are, which helped me build my proper first level.
And that was based on the editor that came out on the disc, right? That wasn't
Yes.
before there were any changes to the editor.
No,
Wow.
no, that was way before any of that. I think it's around 2005 when all those packs that allows you to do custom objects and stuff that came out. It's a little bit hazy in terms of like the exact timeline. Obviously,
Sure.
it was quite a while ago. But yeah, the first couple of levels were just, you can change textures, but you can't do object changes essentially. Yeah.
And you've built in a bunch of different engines since then, or no?
Yeah, kind of. So most of the levels that I built were original Tomb Raider 4, and then there is a thing called TREP. It's, I don't really remember, it's like extended patch or something.
Okay.
And then there is TRNG as well, but I kind of mostly skipped the TRNG era. TRNG came with an editor called NGLE, which is essentially just a level editor that allows you to build TRNG levels, but it's also an upgrade to the original TRLE. So
Okay.
yeah, that allows you to build a couple of new things, but it wasn't exactly a new engine. It's just a new editor patch. But
Okay.
then I kind of took a long break because it just wouldn't run on my laptop back then, and it was a pain. And it was like either spinning really quick, or it was like during like a little PowerPoint slideshow with textures missing. So it was impossible to work with. So I was just like, I'm gonna give up now for now. That was in 2011.
Okay.
And yeah, so recently there's the Tomb Editor that came out in 2018, and that was built from the ground up, and it allows you to build from Tomb Raider 1 all the way to like Tomb Raider 5 engine, including a brand new one called the 10, which is Tomb Engine. It is essentially like an amalgamation of all the source codes from Tomb Raider 1 to 5, but it was built from the ground up.
Wow.
Yeah, but
And that's
Tomb
what you
Editor,
used for
yeah.
Tower Bridge, right?
It is, yeah. But Tomb Editor was the greatest thing that has ever happened to the level building community. It just allows you to build levels intuitively on a modern machine without going through a lot of patches and a lot of like DLL errors and lags and stuff. So you can actually see the entire level, and it could be as big as like, well, half of London, I suppose. Yeah, then you can still see it and spin around in like a reasonable speed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you part of developing the engine or no?
I suppose I'm kind of like part of the dev team for just trying to push the engine limits. Well, engine 2 is limits, and yeah, just trying to like suggest things that builders might want. But I wouldn't call myself a programmer because I didn't program anything. I just literally just told them this thing isn't quite working how we want it to work, and could you improve this? Or like I put 1,000 objects into this road and it's lagging. Could you like figure something out that could help? And then I would provide some test levels and be like, so this is the issue, and could you just see if you can do anything about this? And yeah, it has been quite an interactive process. When I was building Tower Bridge, it was just like, okay, you've got test levels, but I've got an idea of how I want to create this and use this tool. And then they improved a lot on it. So I suppose I am part of the dev team in that sense.
Yeah.
QA at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one theme that runs through all of these interviews is how close the TRLE community is. That there's so much good collaboration and communication amongst builders and so on.
Yeah, it is pretty tight knit. And currently, almost every night I join a little Discord chat, like a video call chat, where a lot of builders just join and come and go into and share our streams of us doing our own Tomb Raider level editor things. And then sometimes we'll notice other people doing a trick where we'd be like, how the hell do you do that? Or like, why are you not pressing the hotkeys? That it makes making these kind of objects a lot easier. So that's how we share a lot of our knowledge together, and it has been quite inspiring as well, because I am very easily distracted, and just having that focus of seeing other people doing stuff and being inspired by it really helps me keep focus on what I'm doing as well.
Yeah. Are there other builders that you especially admire or that you're close to?
Yeah, quite a few actually. I know you've been speaking to Kona, and he's been wonderful. Martini. I've got quite a few people that I wanted to mention. Is like Tack, obviously, she's amazing. She's still using the old editor because she has been working on her level for the last 20 years pretty much. So we haven't seen her around a lot, but I love her work.
Yeah.
There are quite a few other people who are not builders as well, like Dean Copri. He's been wonderful, and he's been collaborating with me just because he finds it fun. And yourself as well, playing a lot of levels that I'd love to watch, and you even put your voice on my level.
Back again?
And you? For a grand reopening, I assume. Well, you are.
Good to see you again. Fancy a coffee? It's on the house.
No, and no.
You can't bump off me and my brew so easy, Lara. Try the espresso.
Fine. I'll have a double.
So that was great. Yeah, after coming back from my long hiatus, it's just like a whole new community for me, because there was like almost like a 10-year break for me.
Got it.
Yeah, I think Tomb Editor kind of completely put me back into the scene, and as a result, like going back into the TRLE community as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody seems so generous with their time. Like you mentioned Dean Copri, like he's so gracious about the music that he creates and sharing it and allowing people to use it, and he's really sweet. So many people like that.
yeah, and like other people who are keeping the franchise alive, I guess, at least for Classic Lara, which I am heavily in love with. All the streamers like Steve, Raidercast, Tomb of Ash as well, just keeping all the code and stuff like running. And obviously, like a lot of our fans kind of created the remasters, so that part of it was also incredible. And every name was kind of really good. I just don't really know if I should like name them all, because if I forgot someone, I'd just be like, oh my god, I don't want to miss your house.
I know. And I feel the same way with doing these interviews. Like it, you know, I don't want to be exclusionary, but I can only interview so many people, and there's so many. I mean, there's hundreds of people that we could mention. But
exactly. Yeah, if I missed you, I'm sorry. I just kind of like, I'm nervous.
But it is wonderful that the level editor community, that some folks were tapped to work on the remasters, and I think the remasters did what they set out to do, created a whole new bunch of people playing Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's very inspiring to just look at the classic levels being reinterpreted in this kind of graphics. And then I kind of want to do similar stuff on my own levels as well. All the sky shaft and lights, and I'm just going to put them everywhere in my levels now.
I was going to ask you if you have any hints about future projects or projects that you're working on now.
I'm currently working on a level that has kind of evolved from Haley's Creative Concept Challenge. So I was given like a map painting of a concept art, and we were expected to create a level out of it. The deadline is way past now, but also the competition itself is cancelled. But it was still very inspiring to try and create something that is completely outside what I normally do. Because it started out as a painting, and it actually was a painting from a painter that I know and loved, and his name was Jonas DeRoe, and I followed him for years, and the concept art was from Magic the Gathering. It's kind of like an oasis, and I just kind of wanted to recreate that sort of look by doing my own painted textures and creating some kind of outline for my characters and NPCs. And then I also saw Delka's prompt, but he also didn't do the competition. Blended two concept arts together. His artwork was like a giant dinosaur skull in front of a tiny person, so I just kind of like, I want to put dinosaurs in my level. I love dinosaurs. So,
that sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's an oasis with dinosaurs. It started out as like an Egyptian themed texture pack, but I kind of decided that I don't really want to do another Egyptian level, so I kind of tried to go for something a little bit more unique, but still in the same continent.
Cool.
So can't wait to share more with you guys, obviously.
Oh, that's so exciting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nearing completion, but like I've built most of the environments, but I haven't really created enough gameplay for it to be like a full level just yet.
Okay.
And Dean Copri is doing some music of it again.
Oh,
so I'm
wonderful.
very excited about that.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's been sounding amazing already.
Gecko, if people want to reach out to you, do you have a Discord? Do you have a place where people can reach out?
Yeah, my Discord is just Gecko or Gecko Kid. I'm not sure which one is which, but yeah, I've got my own YouTube channel as well. It's a mess. I don't really curate my stuff like that. Yeah, but I also have an Instagram called Gecko Kid the Paladin. It's just how I document my daily life, essentially. Yeah, I don't really use Twitter anymore, but it's Gecko Kid _WOW, which is WoW. I created it when I was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh, sure.
You can find me there. I sometimes retweet what other people's mentioned me about, but I very rarely post much anymore. Mostly I'm on Instagram.
Thank you so much for talking with me.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.